Hi. Okay. Doing a little video of some questions that Caitlin has asked me to do regarding a self-directed film project that she is doing. So maybe add a couple more things to it because who knows what's going to happen in the future here. But it's March 30th, March 31st, 2020, in the midst of coronavirus pandemic around the world. Middle of the week, things have been middle of, I guess, a couple of week period where we first started into quarantine and self-isolating, but have now things are being extended as we go day by day. Numbers are getting stronger or bigger as far as confirmed cases, things of that nature. So, there's a whole lot of stuff going on that we don't know what's happening. So, I guess what I'll do is I will answer some of Caitlin's questions here in the best that I can. And hopefully you can use this, kiddo. If not, then I will do it again. So, questions and things to talk about. Am I working? Yes, I am working. I'm lucky enough that I have continued with working. I have had no income drops at this point. A lot of other people have. I'm a golf course superintendent / property manager for the links at Dover Coast and for Dover Coast developments in Port Dover. I'm working by myself. I guess that's there's a little bit different. I normally would have some staff have started to come back and start preparing the season for the golf course to open later into April. At this point, no staff are coming in. I'm actually anticipating maybe being a one-man show for quite a while. We're making modifications to how a golf course will actually be. I go back to the 1980s, and one of the very first golf courses I started at was cut all at one height. We had no differentiation of cut between tees and fairways and rough, and one machine kind of cut everything, and then we had another machine that cut the greens. So that's kind of the thing that I'm looking at going back to doing this season on a 9-hole property, just to maintain it as a golf course, possibly without even opening it this year. That is yet to be seen. So I am still working. I'm working through different plans and scenarios where we don't open the golf course at all this year, to we are able to open with some restrictions, to opening right back to where we were. Interviews, I have not done any as of late. Any interviews that I will be doing for staffing will be remotely through telephone, maybe through some Skype or some video stuff. I haven't got to that point yet, but I'm not planning on bringing anybody in. So there's definitely changes. A lot of discussions with other superintendents through social media about what they're doing, how they're treating things, down in the U.S., over in Europe, Australia, around the world. Social media has allowed, quick communication worldwide. Twitter is a great tool that I use a lot for that. And just, what is everybody doing? Everybody's in the same boat together. It doesn't matter what side of what border or what part of this planet we're on. We're all in the same boat. So it's good to be able to talk to other people that way about that. So again, am I working? Yes. Am I glad to be working? Yes. I think I would go stir crazy without my work. That may have answered number 2. If yes, where and why, and do you expect your job to continue to be an essential service? I don't really consider my job an essential service. Let's face it, things could grow out. People could not have their lawns cut. I think snow removal was maybe an essential service for me, but at this point, going into the grass and the lawn care season, I don't believe it's an essential service, but I'm thankful to have it. Biggest change for me, just anticipation of what's to come. Working by myself. I normally have 1 or 2 staff, even in the off season. This year I have none. keeping busy doing that. Am I keeping busy at home? Probably not. I look around at a lot of things that I should be doing. I'm kind of glued to the news, and then I go the complete opposite. I don't want to see anything about the news, and I find movies and old recorded videos and DVDs that I have, and don't want to see any social media. I don't want to see any news. I don't want to see anything new. I fall back into, what's comfortable. Some of my some older stuff that I've got around. So it's one extreme to the other. Challenges I've had to overcome. Not being able to just go and see my family, not going to see my parents, not going to see my daughters, not going to see my granddaughter. I used to just get, I want to get out of here, and I'd go see my kids. I'd go see my granddaughter, go see my parents. Sports, watching a bit of sports on TV, sharing a love of NASCAR with my mother, my father. That's not there. So, yeah, challenges I've had to overcome have been minor, first world problems. Don't have major problems to overcome at this point. There's probably going to be more challenges down the road. Any good that has come from this for you? At this point, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. It's really, I've kind of become minimalist in my life as far as what's important to me is my family, my kids, my granddaughter, my parents. Always has been. I've always been a family person, and that's even more so, pointed out right now that is all that really is important. Having a roof over my head is good. Having not having the ability to share that with somebody is maybe not that good, but that may come. Maybe after we get out of quarantine. But I do miss my kids. I miss my parents. I miss being able to hug them. Anything I'd like to talk about the pandemic and being in quarantine or self-isolation. I haven't had a whole lot of change at this point, so I haven't had to self-isolate. I do self-isolate. I go to work, come home, I do what I've been doing. Not going anywhere on weekends. It's not new, but at the same time, not having the option to go away on weekends or go somewhere on a weekend and go see somebody on a weekend and go visiting, that's new. So I haven't had a whole lot of changes, but that's kind of where I'm at. Well, I hope these answer your questions, kiddo. You can use this. If you can, great. If not, I can do it again. Anyway, here's a little video. I'm going to send it to you. Okay? Love you. Bye.